Hi Sajis, welcome to your December 2023 reading. In this, we'll be covering your general messages for the upcoming month of December. Now, to all of you who are celebrating your birthdays in this month, happy birthday. And who have recently had their birthdays, happy birthday to you as well. You can apply this reading for your sun, moon, and rising, that is your big three in your chart. If any of you don't know your chart, you can go to any of the websites and you can get your basic chart done. Um, if you enjoy the shuffling part of the cards, I will add a different section at the end of this video and you can then go and check that out. Usually people like to get into the messages right off the bat, so I'm starting with the messages itself. Okay, so now let's talk about the reading and what is coming up for you for this upcoming month. Right, so first of all, I do see you coming out of a place of isolation or after a long period of times. Could have been 9 months, 9 months to 2 years. So something that you have been stuck in for a very long time. I think you're finally breaking out of it, and the process itself was not being has not been easy for you. The process of breaking out of it has not been easy for you, but I do feel like this year September onwards something might have started, some idea might have started to click for you, and this idea is going to keep expanding up until the upcoming March of next year, March 24 basically. And first of all, let's talk about the overall vibe of this reading. Okay, let me start with that. So for your overall card, we got the Devil card. Now you don't have to get anxious by seeing that card. It is not necessarily a bad card, but it talks about the excess of your life. So one small anecdote that I'd like to share with you, and I would feel like there is some sort of message for those of you who resonate. When I was about to do your reading, I had been kind of overthinking as to how to do this reading for a very long time. I think for 2 to 3 days now, I have been wondering how to go about this monthly reading. And usually, it's not such a hassle for me to post readings. But this time around, I was getting very picky about which table I should use, which corner of my home should I use for this reading, what aesthetic should I go with. And ultimately, I just decided to, you know what, to hell with it. I'll start the reading any which way. And what's important is the message. So, for a lot of you, I think you're getting too bogged down with the aesthetic or with the idea of how to go about something instead of focusing on the thing itself. So, if you have a goal in mind here, the devil card to me is telling me that you're too over focused on how you should go about that idea or how that will look like to the world instead of kind of pulling in yourself with the hermit card and going inwards, and with the high priestess and the hermit card, both of these cards talk about going inwards and seeing and planning out with your own sense of validation as to how do you need to go about your life in the coming times, right? So especially for those of you who have been seeking a lot of social validation, I see you, sorry about that, I see you kind of just struggling with either people around you, if it is at work, maybe a lot of debates and discussions, and a lot of you have been struggling with that over the last 5 weeks or so, or maybe um, I would say till Sagittarius season, just to be wary of it, because we do have a Mercury retrograde coming up, and that might somehow impact if you're trying to be impulsive. So I would just kind of hold back your plans and do the planning part in silence and do the execution part in silence as well, right? With the high priestess and hermit card, it talks about planning things out in silence. Four of pentacles is like, do not be making too much noise regarding what moves you are trying to go about. So let's start from the beginning with the devil card. Obviously the first advice would be to cut out any sort of excess in your life. So a lot of you might be thinking of which areas in my life have I been going in excess. So maybe if you have been spending a lot, you can kind of pull back your expenses. If you feel like your diet has been going to hell, you can kind of, this could be a good time for you to kind of focus on that and kind of just pull back a little on that. if you feel like in terms of your career you have been going to um like you have not been focusing on your career, if you're a student your focus has been shifted, so look at the areas of your life that you have been overgiving, or not overgiving, sorry, you have been doing things in excess, and start from pulling that back, and stop um kind of focusing on the aesthetic of it. So for one example, I can tell you a lot of people who are trying to build something in their life. Say, for example, somebody wants to build a business, and even before they can get to a point where they are getting a good turnover, they start posting online as to how much they are earning from their businesses, or advice on how to build your business, even before they have had a foundation themselves. Right? So there's this need I can feel from this reading. There's this incessant need that has been going on from maybe 1.5 years, and you might catch yourself, and very prominently this devil card is giving me the need for validation. So this could be validation from your peers, this could be validation from your family members, your friends, the person who you love. So look at in your life where you're going outside of yourself, outside of your own internal compass, and seeking out validation from people outside of you. And then you will recognize that like you need to pull back, you need to come back to your own senses. So we will, that is the overall energy for this month. That is what you need to focus on predominantly. That if I'm getting over focused on the idea of something, let me just pull back with the with the high priestess and the hermit card, and let me focus on ideas. And then whatever with the four of pentacles and five of wands, whatever conflict, whatever burden, whatever obstruction that you're facing in your life right now, a lot of you might be facing a lot of creative in like creative rut. Basically, maybe you're not coming up with good ideas, maybe your ideas are being subjected to too many opinions, maybe at workplace you're like a lot of people are involved in the kind of work that you're doing, and maybe you're involving too many people in in your process. So you kind of need to the extent that it is possible for you, you need to pull back your energy, and you need to start kind of going inwards with the high priestess and the hermit, and then you will see that more ideas will also start coming up uh, in your mind, and you will know how to act towards it. You will feel the freedom to act towards it. What is happening with involving too many people with the five of wands, if you can see here, what is happening with involving too many people in the process is that you are losing sight of what it is that you actually would like to do. Your goal is to be here, knight of wands. Your goal is to be here with the page of wands, that you have an idea and that you have the freedom to express it, right? This page of wands, if you can see it, this is an idea, this is like a spark of something in your mind, and your goal overall is to kind of come to this point where this idea is put into action, where you're free to express yourself. Right now a lot of energy with the high priestess and with the hermit card is kind of in your mind. You're planning on something, you're planning on something, now you're being told to put it into action. This is high time now to put those things into action. So if for so a second message could be for those of you who have been in planning mode for a very long time, that from December onwards till July till March of 24, this is now the time for you to start implementing the things that you have been thinking about for a very long time. And this, for a lot of you, this could have been since May of this year. I think a lot of you have been thinking about it, like what should I do, how should I go about it, and a lot of opinions coming in as a part of it, and maybe still you are struggling with it a little bit. I can see that over the next 5 weeks also you might struggle with it, but you have to overcome this hurdle. You have to kind of um, overcome this issue that you're facing right now, right? So this is predominantly the main message that is coming up for you. Now let us come. So first of all was to let me just summarize. First of all was to cut down the excess of things that you have been trying to do for public validation or people's validation. Second thing is to put your ideas into motion, into action, right? so that you're getting to this stage where you're completely and fully expressing your ideas, and you're not getting bogged down by the obstacles that is coming your way. A lot of these obstacles are opinions of other people, unnecessary opinions that are being put to you. uh, and even you might be like five of wands, the way I see it in this card. Sometimes it also talks about you yourself becoming an obstacle for yourself. If you can see this person, kind of like they seem like the same person, and kind of stumbling their way towards moving forward of like fire here. So fire in tarot talks about action, right? When you think of fire, we think of movement, we think about action, like you can see here in Knight of Wands. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to reach towards the fire. You're trying to kind of, and if you can see, there's a lot of purple here. So purple talks about mental energy, thinking a lot, thinking, overthinking almost to the point of inaction. So I think a huge hurdle for you this at this point is kind of just overcoming your own thinking and reaching to this point of action, right? So this is your message, and Four of Pentacles. I think in terms of definitely, I think you have been holding back with your actions. Sorry about that. So, like I said, Four of Pentacles. I think you have been kind of reserving your resources, your time, your efforts in some way or the other, either because you're scared that if I put my effort into this particular endeavor, it will not bear the results that I have been thinking of, right? That could be a huge fear. I do not see this as like saving of resources as something that you have been doing on purpose. I think it has been more fear driven, and I would recommend, and this could have been going on since the May of this year. Maybe you have been finding yourself getting into a shell. Maybe you are not as active in terms of your career, in terms of your creative pursuits, something or the other, right? So I think this is the time now you're being guided to come out of that mental energy. And with again with the High Priestess, I'll just go over it. I think there is something that you had been working on for the last either 9 months or 2 years, that is finally giving you the result that you have been hoping for a very long time. So this could have been for those of you who are due for a promotion. Maybe you are getting a promotion, because this talks about a lot of you could be graduating universities or like coming out of something with very flying colors. Or if you are an intern or apprentice, I think you're finally getting to a stage where you can practice fully the work that you have been doing. If you have been in some sort of like, I would say, apprenticeship mode in any way in your life, in the process of it, especially for the past 2 years, I think slowly you are moving towards the fruition of it, right? So with the High Priestess, I do think that an effort that has been put into something that has been going on for the past 2 years will finally be coming to fruition for you, and it's going to be in a very high position. Most likely, whatever cycle that you have started right now, you will be getting the result of it by March 24, right? I'm seeing that predominantly that March is going to be relevant for you in terms of the results of what you had been working on for the past 2 years. So 2 years right from now would be 2021, right? So look back to 2021. If I'm talking about March 2024, then look back to March and April of 2022. Look at what was going on in that time period. Look at what was going on towards the end of 21, and you will find that certain things, certain projects that you have started in that point in time, you might be finally giving it like a, like you will be coming full circle with that, or you will be finishing with regards to that. So either it is like a test from the universe, a hurdle, or some, so if you have been completing your education, say for example, uh you will probably be graduating next year around that time. You will probably be um completing a course that you had been doing at that time, an internship that you might have been doing, that you will finally get to go in a full-fledged role in the same particular thing. So this talks about like moving through the apprenticeship and going to a higher level. So either getting promoted, going to a higher level of something, depending on where you are in your field. Of course, I'm reading for a collective, so it'll vary for different people. So that is the high priestess for me. Right now, I do not see a lot of focus here on any sort of love messages or socializing or anything of that sort, if I'm being honest. So maybe the upcoming month, the focus is yourself. The focus is not going to be any which way we started the reading with that. So I do not see, this is not to say that your love life is not going to flourish. This is not to say that if you are in a commitment or if you are with somebody, there's going to be any struggles there. This is just to, because this is the general message. I did not pinpoint any career or any love reading here. I'm just reading for the messages that are coming up predominantly for me. I do see that you might be getting offers of love with the page of wands, knight of wands. There might be certain offers that are being made for you. With the devil card, I think that this might not be the right time to invest in other people. So I would just take a back seat there for some time, not for a, I wouldn't say for a very long time. I think January onwards you can then pursue your dating life as usual. But right now, especially if you are feeling alone, if you, especially if you are feeling like, if you're dating not for the purpose of dating, but if you are dating for the purpose of filling a void, then with the devil card, it is the easiest and the most vulnerable position to get into a relationship. And not, probably not a very good idea to completely um give yourself into something right now that is outside of yourself, that includes a relationship. This is not to say that you cannot date. I do see a couple offers coming your way. I definitely feel that. I think you will be focused inwards. If even if you do want to try something new, I would just take it with a pinch of salt, because like I told you, we already are in a Mercury retrograde period. So just give it a month's time. Of course, if you're starting something new, maybe you, any which way, you will give it a month or two's time to kind of come to a complete conclusion. But up until that point, I think this is a good time from now till March. This is a good timeline for you to work on yourself. Your love life, your personal life can go along with it, but do not let that overshadow your life and your goals right now. I think a lot of creative juices are flowing right now and will be flowing, especially a lot of you, if you have been feeling um, stuck since September, or like I told you, since May. A lot of you, if you have been feeling stuck, I think this is a good time where you'll be getting a lot of ideas. So get that diary out, note down the ideas. I think that will be a good advice to go to, and do not miss out on this creative streak. I think it's going to be one of the most fulfilling times in your life if you can kind of refrain from your lower nature, basically, whatever you give into. And then see, below that we have 10 of cups, which is a great coincidence, because if you can just overcome this thing, you can then, whatever is your ideal of happiness. This also talks about family, and this also talks about love. But in the context of this reading, what I'm getting is that if you are able to overcome your basic nature, if you can see, this person is being controlled by the devil, right? The devil in this case, like, if you're not somebody who's too religious, let's not get into that, but it could be anything that has power over your mind that you do not have. So it could be food, it could be media, it could be anything that is kind of taking away your power. So if you can just control this, you will be able to get to this point. 10 of cups, basically, which 10 of cups talks about whatever is your idea of a fulfilling, peaceful, happy life, right? If you can see it here, along with your peers, along with the person that you love, along with the if you are somebody who has a family, good times with your family. So all of this is waiting on the other side of you, kind of being able to control these basal level desires that do not really serve you as much, and just having that delayed gratification from now till March. I think you cannot even imagine the kind of growth that is coming your way, the kind of improvement in terms of your social positioning as well, because high priestess is also somebody who is looked um, looked up at, like basically respected in the society. So a lot of social growth also coming in. So if you feel like you are somewhere in the middle of the journey, I think the next 4 to 5 months are going to really, really pay off for you. And yeah, so that is your reading Sagittarius placements. I can, if you would like, I can just summarize it again. Um, First of all, you need to stop seeking validation from people around you. I think it's leading to a lot of conflict. Um, the second thing would be to start putting your ideas into action with the Hermit and the Five of Wands and Page of Wands. I think it's high time now to do that. With the Four of Pentacles, whatever rut that you have been feeling since the May of this year, either due to financial lack or maybe you just didn't get the time or something, some sort of resource that has been lacking, and you have been holding on to your ideas to kind of unleash it upon the world. I think now is the time to you can come out of that holding back phase and you can now express yourself freely and avoid conflicts for the next 5 weeks. I think that will be a good rule of thumb to follow. Any which way we have a Mercury retrograde coming up, and you can see this Five of Wands. I see a lot of conflict from people. See a lot of sorry about that. I see a lot of unnecessary opinions coming your way that you will have to tackle. So it will be a good like rule of thumb for the next 5 weeks to kind of not indulge in unnecessary debates and discussions either at home or at work. You know, and right now, from December to March, you're laying down foundation for some sort of success that will fully form by March 24. But right now is the time to kind of, if you have been thinking about something, if you have been wanting to express yourself, if you, especially in a creative field, a lot of you, if you have been thinking about posting on social media, starting some sort of entrepreneurship, starting something, so that is going to bear fruits in the upcoming March of 24, but you have to start working on it from this month onwards. So December is the month where you lay down the foundation, you pull back the habits that have not been serving you, and you slowly start, you know, including the habits that you do require for the upcoming month to lay down the foundation of the career that you have been planning to grow upon, right? So, this has been your reading Sagittarius placements. I hope you like it. And if it resonated, please leave a like, please leave a comment here. I'd love to hear your feedback. Um, I am doing personal readings right now. So, if you are interested in that, you can email me on astrogirl0810 or you can go to Twitter or Instagram where my ID is EOS underscore 1111. On Instagram, it is 1111.eos. You can find all these details here in the description box as well. So if you feel like you have resonated with the reading and you want to book with me, because this reading has been for a collective, for people that are I'm reading for collectively, right? If you are wanting to have a personalized message that you would like me to do for you specifically, because I am now posting um, year-long reading as well for 2024. I'll be posting it shortly during December. So in that, I will cover love, career, general life messages section by section. These are general messages. So, if you would like a detailed reading like that about your life for 2024, or even for the upcoming month of December 2023, if you would like to have any sort of guidance, then you can approach me either on Twitter, that is on EOS underscore 1111, or on my Instagram ID that I'll leave below. You can DM me there. The prices will be available on both Twitter and Instagram, and yeah, that's about it. If you would if you like the reading, if you would like to see more readings from me, you can subscribe the channel and push the bell notification on so you get reminded of whenever I'm posted. So yeah, that is about it, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Bye.